Get it ready, boys.
Well, here we are. It's the draft. Does that mean we're going to get some movement on the Jason Robertson front? Yes, or no, or maybe.
Or who
Hi,
cares?
Sam.
Or who cares?
Or who cares? Or I don't give a darn, or anything else that Abbott and Costello might have said. This is the DLS Stars draft preview that's going to be dominated by talk about Jason Robertson right now.
All right, here we go. Everybody shut the fuck up. Oh, damn.
Sam, did you pick out that music?
I love that.
Welcome to the DLS Stars podcast. It's Friday.
You love
It
it
is
because it looks like a cartoon.
2 o'clock. You did,
It
yeah.
was funky, too, you know?
This is our show today. We have Craig Ludwig. We have Sam Nessler. We have our producer, Ryan Vaughters. I'm Owen Newkirk. Thanks for joining us.
KG's here, too.
KG is here. He could shout through walls and still be heard on our microphones. So that is a superpower for him. Before we get to today's content, though, let's talk about the Cup collection because it's on sale now. AllDLS.com. Rep the Stars and Stripes. Rep El Tree. Wear the red shirt with the USA colored Nux logo and pretend it's Canada. They did qualify for the knockout round, by the way.
all three.
But either way, enjoy those. Get them now. And yeah, actually, you know, Sam, I really like the DLS Stars and Stripes flag logo shirt.
Yeah.
You like the one on the
I like
left.
the blue one with the USA in the back. Yeah.
I might get that one. Anyway, so DLS.
Sure, we'll get them.
AllDLS.com. Get them today. If you're a diehard, you get 20% off all merch. I don't know why you wouldn't be a diehard for all our content, but then also to get a discount on merchandise.
Free shirt.
Makes sense. All right. So tonight is the draft. First round up in Buffalo, which I still have a problem with because it's a decentralized draft, but they have a location where people show up.
Yeah, sort of decentralized.
It's kind of like the NFL draft now, where they still have a location. People still go on stage, but all the executives and the GMs, all the ones making the decisions on draft night, are not there.
Have they fixed the awkward Zoom setup? Remember last year they
I don't think they're
went
gonna
up,
do that
they
this year.
opened the doors, and they
supposed to be
zoomed with the GM.
light years better than it was last year. Whatever that, I don't think
There's not much.
not a
worse you
big
can
bar
go.
there.
Yeah.
yeah, but it's supposed to be more friendly to the.
What have you
Okay.
heard? Just that? Or do you have any details to share? Because I honestly know how they're going to make it better other than go back to the old format.
I prefer it to be Monday and be it over with, and
Yes.
then you guys can give me the highlights.
Just quicker is the thing.
Yeah.
Would it take 4
drags
hours
on.
last year?
It seems like every player is up. You talk about a player for 5, and you really don't. I mean, I don't think the average viewer really cares that much about what he did in junior when he was a squirt and a peewee and all this. I think it's cool with the parents when they're there
Oh, it means
to
a
have
ton to them.
that first, time. But I think sometimes that's goes on a little too long for me. That's just. But I'm like.
Well, we were going to start with the Robo talk, but let's talk draft now. And we'll put, Ryan, we're going to go Robo segment 2 because this is appropriate. We're in on it. Let's go through this. Luds, you make a great point right off the top. The draft night, whether it's round 1 tonight or rounds 2 through 7 tomorrow, is really a culmination of years and years of car rides to the rink, bus rides, whether you're in peewees or, midget hockey, or then going and making a junior team and on and on. It's parents travel hockey to, paying a lot of money to fly to tournaments in other cities, hotels, meals, rental cars, all those things. And most of the players, 95% of those players or more, never play professional hockey, right? It's a huge industry. It's obviously a big fun thing, but it's also a lot of hopes and dreams. The ones that get through that filter, that get called up onto that stage, that's where this is for. It's that hug with the parents in the arena. It's why I like the centralized draft.
Yes.
Is because you get the photo on stage, especially in the first round of the pick, with all the executives from that team, and you get to see the parents react. To me, like you said, as soon as you said most people, average fans, don't care about where they played their junior hockey or where they played this, they just want to know, are they going to help my NHL team that I cheer for? That moment, that's why I hate this change in format. That moment is what, to me, is the most important for the draft.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, it's a parent thing, right? It's a parent-kid thing. And I think the parents are happy, and I can relate this to our U18 parents when they find out that they're going to go play at school or go play for USHL because they can quit paying the bills. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not paying $25,000 to $30,000, whatever it may be, to play at 17, 18-year-old, and whatever, depending on the organization you play. They spend a lot of money,
a lot,
and so now, and I think there's some of those parents like tomorrow night when Toronto takes McKenna.
No, tonight.
Or not tonight. I didn't know if we were
not
pre-recorded. I never know what the hell's going on here. Sometimes
right
we're like, don't say today, so I'm just kind of keeping it generic.
That's fair, but today we are.
I sometimes I'm like, okay, now where are you buying me a house at? One of those kind of things. So, but yeah, I mean, it's great for all the kids, and I wish they did it the old way because it seems like I felt better for the kids where they got to walk up onto the stage and everybody was there and they got to shake hands. They handed them a jersey. Half the time their hair was messy. You know what I mean? The jersey didn't fit or was too big, and so. It's just that to me,
your owner
I
says
get it
your
for
name
the
wrong.
first 5 picks or so because they're probably the one. Again, I think there's something like you get into the middle of the second round and beyond. Those selections, those players play average in the NHL somewhere around 150 games.
Yeah,
and there's the Jamie Benz and Klinger and those kind of guys.
And it's getting less and less for those low round picks.
Yep. Yeah. So anyway, it's for the kids. I mean, it's good.
Well, the other part, real quick, of this before I let Sam chime in, is just that may be their moment because many players that get drafted don't ever make it to the NHL or don't make it to a long NHL career. Some might even get a game. Some might play in the AHL. You shouldn't be upset about playing. ECHL is a really hard level to get to in hockey. You should be really proud if you play professionally. If you move to the AHL, that's better. NHL is the pinnacle, right? Or go and play in Europe. Just getting up on that stage, just getting your name called is a massive accomplishment.
I think the big thing is the picture in 25 or 30 years where you're up there shaking the GM's hand.
Is that's the key.
And if Bettman's up there, you get that picture to hang on the wall for whenever.
Well, and don't you love the draft photo later? You look back and go, "Gosh, look how young he looked then."
I just used used
Miro.
I just used Miro.
Did you have to stand for 15 minutes for the thing to do?
I never got it. I didn't even know. I didn't
put the hood on.
I had no idea. I was at North Dakota working at a hockey school, and the coach called me and said, "Hey, come on in. I want to talk to you." Which I thought I was in trouble again. And then it was in the summer, and I was walking to the rink to get on the ice, and he just had me come in his office, and he goes, "Hey, just want to let you know you've been drafted." And I said, "Oh, that's cool." And
Bing bang.
And we talked for like 2-3 minutes, and I started to walk out, and he goes, "You want to know who drafted you?" And I turned around and said, "Oh yeah, who was it?" And he goes, "Montreal." And I said, "Okay." And I said, I think I said, "Yeah, right," something like that.
Yeah.
Like I'm never going to play for them. Yeah. So it was a total different, scenario. So it's awesome now for these.
We have to cut in because we got a big super chat. Rantanen and
it was
a
an
99
emergency
cup
podcast. Or
Look
emergency,
at this. 96 Rantanen and
I could
99
read that.
cup here. Hey boys, this is from Team USA Football. Love the great Stars offseason content. Meant to do this during the awesome Hitch interview. What a great coach and guest. You are all great. Even Sam. Let's go Stars.
Sweet.
And the U.S. men's national team. I'm glad that you didn't do that during the Hitch interview because we were talking to Hitch. We would have had to cut in, and that would be awkward in the middle of our guest guy. We got to stop because someone gave us a huge super chat. So it's great you did that. Thank you for that.
Also incredibly rude.
Well, no, they didn't.
But they added me as even Sam. Why am I an afterthought?
You are all great, even Sam. That
Even
means you.
Sam.
Well, let's talk
Even
about your trips
Sam,
to the drugstore.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Luds, did you know you declared for the NHL draft? Were you aware? What were you doing that summer? Because you weren't playing college again, were you? Or
I'm different. I didn't really ever believe I was going to play at the college that I went to. So I was there working a hockey camp.
But were you planning on playing at North Dakota another year, or had you played all your eligibility?
I was going to play at North Dakota as long as they let me.
So what I'm saying is that when you found out you got drafted, did you have any idea what you were doing after that summer?
As a matter of fact, Gino Gasparini, my head coach at the time, he actually said at the end of the first year, because my first year we won the national championship.
Mm-hmm.
Then he called me out in the hall. I'm going to go into that whole long story. But he called me out and he goes, "Don't be thinking that you're leaving. You're not ready to go."
Yeah.
And I was like,
I wasn't.
I don't even plan on playing pro hockey. That was never in my mind to play pro hockey.
You were going to Wisconsin, dude.
Never believed that I was going to be able to make it. And then fast forward to 2 years later, we won the national championship again. And there's a lot in between there, but we won the championship again. It was like deja vu. He sticks his head in. Everybody's in there celebrated, and he goes, "Luder, I need to talk to you." And he called me on the hall, and he goes, "Remember the talk we had 2 years ago? Blah blah blah." He goes, "I want you to look down to the end of the hall." And he sees that big guy down there, Bill Waters. By the way, he works for Toronto Maple Leafs. He goes, "That's your new agent." He goes, "You are leaving school. I have no more classes for you to take. It's time for you to go." And that's exactly how I went down.
There's no bicycling.
No
bicycling.
I'm not getting horses and stuff like that. But that's exactly how it was. And I honestly went there and thought, well, this will be cool. I can go play with the minor league team and things like that, and I'll give it a shot. And then I never played in the minors.
Made the team.
Again, for my right place, right time. That's all I can say.
Did you just say your nickname was Luder?
Yeah, and because
I heard that
too. When I went to school, it's funny because I'm there with all these freshmen, right? I mean, there's a lot of big and I'm like, Jesus, these guys are big and they got full beards and all this kind of stuff. They're freshmen now. I'm 17, just turned 18 years old. I'm like, wow, these guys are big. Well, come to find out, I didn't know anything about junior hockey. Didn't know anything about it. North Dakota did a lot of recruiting from the Canadian junior teams. Well, when these guys say freshmen, they're 23 years old. Yeah. They went to junior at 18, and then they stayed 2-3 years. And so now it started to make sense. And so that was so, and the Canadian, get around to what
listen
you asked
to
me,
this.
They called me Luder is how it was. And I'm like, I'm here. I ain't saying a word.
Luds is 18. Okay, this is from most points to least on his first year. 79-80 North Dakota team. 21, 21, 20, 22, 19, 21, 19, 22, 21, 20, 19, 20, 23. You had a 17.
Who was 23?
This is the age.
Was that those aren't freshmen though?
No, this is your whole roster.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Erwin Martins.
Yeah, he was only there 1 year. He was maybe he was there already 2-3 years. I can't remember.
You had
as a matter of fact, they own a big Irwin Windows, like huge.
Really?
Oh, he's a millionaire.
You had a 17-year-old defenseman from Edmonton named Mickey Vulcan. And he was younger than you. Other than that, then another 22, 22, 22, 20. Again, this is 2-3 years older than you as a freshman.
and they were freshmen. A lot of those guys were freshmen, So
that's wild.
Yeah, it was just different then.
So let's talk about the draft here for a few minutes before we get into Robo. Sam, your thoughts about what we are all talking about, and let's show Ryan. Go ahead and throw the big board up, and if you have the stars picks that Sam talked about and showed on the show on Tuesday, we should probably have that available as well. But is this? I mean, this is from ALLCITY, right?
Yeah.
Right. We think. I have no idea where this came from, but
yes, the ALLCITY board.
ALLCITY board. No, is there any reason to believe that McKenna's not going to go 1 to Toronto?
No, I think it was going back and forth a little bit because I think Stenberg has played pro, right? He's got the experience. He's older.
Played over in Sweden.
So he's more of the, if you're worried about someone not, but McKenna's ready. I mean, he dominated at Penn State. He's going to be number one. I think the bigger question was if someone would take Chase Reed over Stenberg, or if Chase Reed would jump up, big right-shot defenseman. A lot of teams need, but I think it's pretty safe. Luds was saying before this, there's two guys that are guaranteed can play right away. Those top two. Yep. Usually you go with the guy that you think can play right away.
What about, hey, Luds?
And the thing about, and I don't know what's going to happen with Caleb.
I was going to say, what about number 4 there?
Well, because I hope it goes like this. I hope Manny doesn't pick, or not, Manny doesn't do the pick. Manny Malhotra, his dad, who's going to be the coach in Vancouver. They've got the 3rd pick. So I don't know. Like I said, I was in a situation where Bob Gain was general manager and we had Steven. So I found that a little awkward for Steven. But anyway, Chase Reed, mainly because he's a great defenseman, but he's a righty. And so that could be, what's number 4? Is that Chicago or is that St. Louis? Who's got 4?
San Jose.
No, Chicago traded.
Chicago. No, they traded it.
Buffalo has it. Right?
Buffalo has it. Yeah.
So that would be that. And Bo Byram.
And so now that they've moved a defenseman out of there, this may be a pick that they may want to take, but
that's interesting.
We'll see. But anyway, the whole thing, I think everybody's kind of waiting on the Caleb Malhotra thing to say, are they going to pick it? And his dad is a brand new head coach. Manny's going to be the first-year head coach in Vancouver. Is it cool for him to coach the kid and all this other stuff?
If Manny wasn't the new head coach of the Canucks, is it a no-brainer for Vancouver? It
sounds like that's the way it would
like, happen. Is Malhotra that good that he should be
I don't know
drafted?
Where this board is from, but he's been number 3 all the time. I don't know how this got changed, but everybody seems, from what I hear, They really like Chase Reed, mainly because he's right-handed, and that's not a rarity, but it's nice to have a righty out there. So, but everybody seems to like him. And again, after those 4 or 5, I would say even after 4, you don't even know if some of those guys are going to get moved and some picks. And this might be one of those well, actually, it doesn't even happen on the draft floor anymore. I was going to say it happens on the floor.
It's now on the phone now.
To see if there's some moves going on.
Both of you guys would have a connection here, I think. Go look at the guy listed at number 20 on the big board, JP Hurlburt. He is from the University of Michigan, but he's also from Allen, Texas.
So here's what JP did. Here's the best one that happened 2 years ago. So he turned down Bobby Orr's firm as a representation. They had a meeting. They were on the road somewhere, and they met. Bobby came in and met with them, and then a couple days later, he turned him down. He had to call him and say, "No, sir, we're going to go with a different one." I'm like, "Is this kid?" He probably doesn't even know what Bobby Orr is, though. He said, "No, I'm not going to go with Bobby Orr's group."
He's also a forward. If he was a defenseman, I feel like that would be a prerequisite, right? But did I see this right the other day that he could be the first native Texan born to be drafted in the first round?
Yep, which would be cool because they're starting to see that more, right? Starting to see we had the Seth Jones thing coming down here with the Cup. You got conversations about Cross Hannes, who's Stars prospect. So it's cool to see that kind of stuff. But the other connections, if you want to call it that, is Matt Cullen's kid is on that board. I don't know what number he was at. And then, as we just noticed, we probably should have known this before. But we didn't.
Self-admittedly, I'm not a big draft expert. I don't spend a lot of time on that.
ML Hemming's brother, Oscar Hemming, they're listed at 17.
Wyatt
Matt's
Cullen,
kid,
number
12,
12
Wyatt Cullen. And then Oscar Hemmings is Stars prospect, Emil Hemmings'
former first-rounder,
younger brother. Yep. So some connections in the first round to sort of pay attention to if you're looking for something to be interested in.
Sam, just because we want to have some fun, and I don't know the answer to this, but I just saw it, I would like you to look at number 36 and try to pronounce that last name.
I can't even read it. Is that an I at the beginning?
It is.
Ignatievicius.
Yeah, I feel like this guy, you got to be skipping
let me
something.
Have some more pink. Get it right this time.
Ignatievicius is what I
hope
say.
He is a great NHL player. It looks like Simas Ignatievicius or something.
Sam, Google this. Is 26 Jack Hextall any relation?
I saw that too. It has to be, right? That's not a real
I don't know.
common
Not a real
last name.
common name, is it?
All right. Sam's going to Google that. Up next.
Wait, go back one more time.
Go back.
So I want you to keep an eye on, and I believe I got this right, number 29 and number 33.
Liam Ruck and Marcus Ruck.
They're twins.
Oh, are those the Medicine Hat twins?
And so what could happen here is they could end up in St. Louis because Army, well, he's still running the show.
He's still running things. He's just not the
They
GM.
have back-to-back picks today. They have 4 first-rounders. St. Louis has got 4 first-rounders, and they've got number 12 and 13 is what I heard. One is a skilled guy, and one is more of a blue-collar kind of guy.
Oh, you're kind of guy, Luds.
Well, I'm just saying that would be something.
You ready for the connection? Jack Hextall, who's on this board, his dad, Corey, is cousins with Ron. So AKA
okay. So
nothing.
There's something in there.
No, that's something.
They're distant cousins that have never met.
It's like second to third cousin
in the family,
where it's okay
somewhat.
if you hook up or something like that.
Sure. That's usually how I like to layer it.
Oh, that's great. All right, let's talk about the Stars draft order.
Not related to Leah
and
Hextall.
Then we'll get into Jason Robertson. We have a lot to talk about a Robo, but we do need to just refresh everybody's draft order for Dallas because as of right now, Stars aren't have any picks to make tonight on DLS. The biggest stage in world soccer is here, and every goal changes everything. And now, FanDuel is giving you a reason to root for every single one. Introducing Every Goal Pays. That's right. Be on a match. You can bet on it. You can get bonus bets for every goal scored in that match. That's right. More goals mean more bonus bets, and all you have to do is turn in your token. From the opening whistle to the final kick, let there be goals on FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com to get started now. 21 and over select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino. 18 and over, D.C., Kentucky, Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. Call 1-888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org/chat. Connecticut. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org for Maryland. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org. Call 800-327-5050 Massachusetts. Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY New York. Call 1-877-770-7867 Louisiana.
Junos. Juno's has your go-to liquor store for all your favorite brands. Juno's has served the DFW Metro for over 14 years and has 3 great locations: Arlington, Keller, and Irving. From tastings to cocktail classes, wholesale to corporate events, Juno's has you covered. As a matter of fact, Gideon, the manager over there, brought us a little Pink Whitney over here. Really super popular. Got to mix it with something, though. And some whiskey. That's a rye whiskey. Let's see, what else did Gideon drop off? Well, he dropped off a couple hangovers the other day. You can find this and many other high-quality spirits at a great price at your local Juno's. Tell them DLLS sent you and you get 10% off your first purchase, and continue to support your Dallas small businesses. Stop by and see why Juno's is different from the rest. Again, Arlington, Keller, and Irving. They have everything you'll need to host your next party at a great price. Find all your high-quality spirits at a great price at your local Juno's. Tell them DLS sent you again. That's for 10% off. Continue to support the Dallas small businesses.
All right, before we get into all the chaos that involved Jason Robertson last night and all the text messages and all the tweets
happened?
and all that stuff.
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, absolutely.
That's
absolutely
actually
nothing
accurate.
happened. But let's just quickly update everybody for tonight's draft. We don't have a live draft show tonight. We're going to do a show tomorrow afternoon, wrapping up the end of the draft. And so here's why. Here are the picks for the Stars in this year's 2026 NHL Draft as it currently stands. First pick, 59. Sam, you and Luds talked about this on Tuesday before you had EJ on. Look, 5, 6, 7, you never know what prospect turns into something as a AHL guy, or perhaps you take a flyer on a couple goalies to see if something happens that maybe you weren't sure on. But as we were talking about in the first segment, and Luds mentioned, NHL regulars are less and less showing up in the later rounds. If you're not picked in the top
Scouting
3,
is too good.
rounds 1 through 3, I'm not saying you're not going to, but the odds are stacked against you because, like you said, scouting has improved so much that you're not finding the Pavel Datsyuks or the Henrik Lundqvists or even the Jamie Benns, we kind of passed through the cracks. Joe Pavelski's, right? The 7th rounders out there.
Yeah.
So this is not something that you look at and go, wow, we should be super excited. Now, the kids that get selected should be thrilled. They shouldn't have anything taken away. But for Dallas Stars fans, the 2nd rounder is a big deal, right?
Yep.
Rope Hintz was a 2nd rounder.
Yep.
Jason Robertson was a 2nd rounder. That could be something. The other ones, we'll see.
Yeah, you just start taking best player available at that point. But the key, I think, for Stars fans, again, looking for something to pay attention to in the draft. You already know Jason Robertson, we're going to talk about in a second. Jamie Benn, all the contracts are things to pay attention to because those things tend to happen when GMs are on the phone like they are going to be for the next 24 hours here. But the other side of it, too, I read it. I think Mike wrote it today or yesterday. He talked to McDonnell from their scouting.
He's the head of amateur scouting.
Talked to Jim Nill, talked to some other people.
Should have called EJ Raddick.
And they're kind of looking at it as an interesting side of it where they prepare like they have a pick in every round because they don't know what's going to pop up. If they prepare like they have, if we get a pick in the first round, here's the 3 guys we're looking for. Because if the Stars make a trade, all of a sudden they have a pick in the late first round, they're ready to go. So there are things to kind of pay attention to. But again, it's usually not for the Stars. Just get used to not being the people walking across the stage as the most important thing to watch.
They got a pivot page.
Exactly.
They got to do a lot of pivoting.
Exactly.
You see that they just scored twice?
I did.
Yeah, it blinked. So we're keeping an eye on a couple of things. Anyway, let's talk about Jason Robertson. So last night I had a World Cup game I was calling. It was actually a pretty good one. It was USA versus Turkey, I believe. Yeah, I know the result wasn't
Great
but
game.
Hey, it was fine. And it was actually started even before I did that because all of a sudden you guys are texting and I see stuff and then I had to focus on what I was doing. And then at the half, I caught up and I'm looking at Twitter and seeing all this stuff. Elliot Friedman reported yesterday evening that Jason Robertson had turned down a $120 million contract offer from the Seattle Kraken with a 8-year by $15 million AAV, approximately, they said. After the Stars and the Kraken had reportedly reached at least the structure of a deal, which was rumored to be including the 7th overall pick in tonight's first round, and they gave Seattle permission to talk to Jason Robertson's representation, Andy Scott, the agent, and it didn't work out. And it got public, and that's a problem too. But what was your reaction? And then obviously Luds is going to be excited because later on, Frank Saravalli reported that the Stars and the Toronto Maple Leafs were in talks of Dallas flipping that 7th overall pick in a deal to get Matthew Knies to the Stars. Imagine. Ludz's sports pants were buzzing when he heard that.
Not only buzzing, but it was basically what you said was going to happen potentially with San Jose. It just happened to be a different team.
Well, I mean, I'm just winging it. I listen to Brian Burke a lot, who, congrats, he's in the Hall of Fame now. But he, back in what year was it, Sam? 99?
99.
99 when he did the old flip-flop and traded for a
we
pick.
learned today that Patrick Stefan
at
was
second
drafted
and third.
#1 that year.
For the Sedin, before the Sedins.
Before the Sedins.
Right.
Yeah, so he
Stars
switched
legend.
it, and so that's what I've always been thinking about, that, how he did it, how he pulled it off. And to me, this would, again, you're looking where San Jose is. It was my whole thing about San Jose, and I know that they're going to take Stenberg, right? I mean, that's probably who they're going to take. And the kid is ready to play. But my whole thing was Celebrini there, and you can bring in a 40-goal scorer, 45-goal scorer to play with Celebrini. You just missed the playoffs by, a couple. Wouldn't Jason Robertson be, my God, I get to play with this kid for the next 8 to 10 years or whatever it may be. I thought that may be a place where
he might say yes.
Might want to take that, and then what would happen is you would get that pick back. So and that move would be, actually you'd get Robo for 8 years, because I would want to sign and trade.
It would sign and trade.
So that would be good for San Jose, who has 40-some million in in extra space. But anyway, so then you take that second round pick. That's the move, and then you would go ahead and trade that to Chaika, which I'm thinking, why wouldn't you want the first and second round pick? You could get Stenberg then, if that was pulled off. If everybody says that,
Getting Stenberg and McKenna.
Yeah, exactly. So now all of a sudden you're looking at that, and I think of the bigger picture. I think about this whole talk with Matthews about talking. Is he going to say? Is he going to go? Now all of a sudden they make the Radish deal, and then you get the top 2 picks in there, and you're going, now we've just picked up a wizard passing the puck. We picked up another kid. This is an offensive team. Like,
it's all of a sudden
Matthews
not just
is
a
loving
rebuild,
this
is it?
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And if Knies came back, again, that's what you would get for all that. But I just thought that would be doable. But again, and I heard from someone in this organization, like, they would never trade Knies. I'm like, everybody's available to be traded. Ever since that number 99, way back when got traded, everybody can be traded. So then all of a sudden, what's it out there? Knies is going here. Knies is going there.
Yep.
And that's Chaika's job. Let's see what we can get for it. I mean, again, hopefully you had a conversation with Matthew Knies. Otherwise, he's sitting at home going,
what the heck?
I'm going here. I thought it was this dude.
Yeah.
I mean, again, he's 23 years old. He's got a great deal. He's making $7.5 million for the next 5 or 6 years.
Basically the Robo
Talk about
money right
bring
now.
this whole thing back, and then you can add another forward. I'm thinking this is a win-win, especially if you can't. Robo doesn't. I don't want to say Robo doesn't want to be here, and I just want to say that I said this to Sam this morning. So he turned down Seattle. He turned down who was the other one?
St. Louis.
Okay, he turns down St. Louis, who has a bunch of first-round picks that they could give up. And I said this the last couple of days we talked about this. We'll find out if Robo wants to be here and play here and win a championship, or if it's about the money. So right now, I like it what Robo's done, because he's saying I can make $120 million on this deal, but he doesn't think he can win there. So he's looking for a place to win. That's great for me, that he's not just taking the money.
It's not just about the money.
The only issue is, Luds, he might still be in that middle of, I want 14 and I want to win. I don't know that he's going to get that. That's the trouble, right?
The Kraken were going to give it to him,
but they can't win there. So
no,
that's where Robo probably isn't going to get 14 and be somewhere that he can win,
because
maybe
those teams that we talked about,
California?
They're kind of tight anyway.
But like
Carolina,
maybe they could do it.
But again,
it's limited now. If that's what you're looking for.
It's limited, but we've seen some of these deals that these guys are willing. And again, I love it that there's more teams that are doing. The window's open right now.
Yes.
What do we got to do? If we got to trade 6-7 picks away to give us an opportunity to beat whoever you think let's just say Florida at this moment. If this is what's going to allow us, I'm waiting for Tampa Bay to do something. That's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah,
I'm waiting. I think those guys are looking across the water over there, and they see what they're doing. They see what Carolina is, and is Carolina going to sit on their hands? Probably not. No. They're probably going to do something, which wouldn't surprise me if some really good goalie ends up there, because I think their so-called number one, who ended up being number 2, I think they can do without him. Yeah. And I think Bussy will be the only guy there. I think they can bring in, whether it's the dude from from Florida or maybe Binnington. I don't know, for
Winnipeg.
another chance because look, here's what Florida did. Here's what Tampa did. They won back-to-back. Florida wants to come in here. Look what Florida's doing right now. Florida is setting themselves up. Right now, I would say, I don't know this, but they're probably the favorite to win the cup at this moment. I don't know. But there's Carolina going, we want to win 2 in a row.
Yeah.
We want to win 3 in a row. What do we got to do? And maybe it's the cat in Winnipeg. I don't know what they can give them, but if you can pull in Hellebuck and replace Freddie for that, and Hellebuck's only making 8.
Yeah.
You would think Hellebuck's making 12 or 13.
8.5.
Carolina has Bussy at 1.9 for 3 more years and Kochetkov for 1 more year at 2. Is that
Forgot about Kochetkov.
Could they just roll them back with those 2, or is that not good enough, you think, for the
I don't know
Hurricanes?
what they're going to do. I don't think that. I mean, knowing or
Bussy helped
understanding
him
and
win the
feeling
cup,
what
so-
what Freddie has gone through, and when he kind of lost the reins to the whole thing, whether it's an injury, whatever. I think they're running with Bussy. To me, Bussy's number 1.
Why
I mean,
wouldn't
he
you?
was number 1 all year long this
Yep.
year for those
Yep.
guys. Won 30 or 35 game, whatever it was. So,
Yeah.
but again, for the dollar amount they have in goalies, you can squeeze a Hellebuck in there, or
They have $11 million in cap space with 14 forwards, 5 D, and 2 goalies.
This is going to be
already
really
on contract.
random because we aren't talking about Robo at this moment, but I just wanted to say that it's really interesting to me to see the leaks that have come out on this Robertson stuff because we don't normally see this in Dallas. You don't normally see the Stars tried to make this trade and this guy was involved and this. Jim Nill's quiet.
What do you think that means?
It means that there's either some push from agents on the Robertson side. There's some push from the other team that stuff's coming out. I haven't found anything out from my digging, but maybe 3 years later you hear, hey, the Stars went after this guy.
Lutz,
Did you know
do
that?
you think that it would have behooved, or does it look bad for Seattle? Would they want their fans to know they're taking?
well, Seattle didn't just get turned down by him. He's gotten turned down by a couple other people.
I understand,
too.
but do you think
It's
they
making
want?
Seattle look like there's something wrong there.
So would Seattle not want that out because they don't want that egg on their face, or would they want their fans to know? See, look, we're taking big
swinging.
swings.
No, I think what they're doing, I think Seattle's at least saying we're taking runs with these guys. I mean, we're trying to make our team
Because
better.
unless Robo's representation wants the league to know, hey,
That's my guess.
you think it's that?
That's my guess.
More than
Here's
the teams?
the
'Cause
smart
it's
thing.
not coming from.
Here's
the
the smart thing
Stars.
that I think his representation did is when they went to Seattle and Seattle actually said that they would pay him that.
Yeah.
There's the mark now.
Yep.
Because we have other
that's
teams
why
that
I'm
will
saying
pay
it.
him this. And
So
so
now 15
he got
is out
15 out there. And so that's what they want. So was it a message to Dallas? So I looked it up. If Robo got 15 in Seattle, he would take home 7.5 to 8 million. That's, that's what he would bring home with a couple other little things. If he got 13 in Dallas, 7.7 to 8 something.
So it's pretty similar.
It's pretty similar.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, Jim, can you give him 13? And maybe they can't give him 13. But I'm just saying from Robo's standpoint, because he is looking for a winner.
Yep.
And I don't think he wants to. I don't think he wants to leave Dallas. If you can pay him, he's staying here. But and again, I've said this. I said this the other day. You guys know that. I said we'll find out if he really wants to play here. Does he want to play here? Or is he going for the money?
Yeah.
So that's not happening. But the good news is that hopefully he gets where he is and everything works out for both sides.
Yeah.
Somehow Dallas is going to recoup or however they're going to move on without Robo if he's not here.
And
The
then,
leak-
Sam, did you see the Instagram
Yes.
where he's been the last couple of days?
He's in Miami. He went to the World Cup game.
Brazil, Scotland at
Yep.
the home of the Dolphins. They call it Miami Stadium for the
And the
World
Canes.
You're talking about Robo, right?
Cup. Mhm.
Yep.
Well,
And then on the golf course.
wouldn't you be hanging out somewhere near that team? Just saying, hey,
Just
don't you
hoping the
think
Bill
he's on
Zito's out there?
Instagram so that management that's sitting in Florida going, is Robertson here right now?
Oh, you wanna come by?
Oh, well, maybe we could just, I
Yeah,
could run
that's
by
hilarious.
and, hey, what are you doing here?
That's hilarious.
You know what I mean? Would you be in, again, I'm looking at taking a 45 goal scorer and putting him on some of those teams, which is exactly what he must be looking at.
Yeah.
Like, I want to continue to score 40 to 45, maybe 50 goals.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to go to a team and he's scored all these goals in his career and then go, who's getting me the puck? Where I think Celebrini would be the perfect guy to be getting him the puck.
Yeah, I think the key for the leak
Okay,
is
Ryan, we can
it's
move forward. Sorry.
The leaking information, if it came from the agent, it gave them the market. Now 15 million's out there, as Lud said. It also shows, hey, he's not saying yes to just anybody. Maybe he wants to stay here. Problem is, Dallas Stars fans are getting a little sick of it.
I really thought
back
he'd
and
look
forth
good
as
in
well.
Chicago. I know they're not in that win mode, but to play with Bedard,
Yeah.
there's another guy you'd be putting up probably
Yeah.
40 or 50.
All right,
Let's go to a break.
I want to talk a little bit more about this, and then we have a long list of trades that have happened since we last had a show on Wednesday. We'll get into it on DLS. Live read.
I shouldn't have to speak any more today because I think I spoke for like 3 minutes now.
Yeah.
So
talk about this shirt.
World Cup, I guess that's the big thing that's going on somewhere. Man, these people are drinking at this thing.
They are.
Love watching them how hammered they all are. None of them are wearing any of these shirts. So somebody's got to get down there.
You're not in the middle
wearing
of
one of these shirts and be running around the middle of the crowd so that they can, especially the Mexican one. Mexico's got the coolest shirt on there. It's green, white, and red for whatever it is. So anyway, and I don't get who's the little guy in the middle that's all red.
That's our mascot.
That's our mascot. That's what that one
Nux.
is. What's he holding there? Looks like he's holding a hot dog. What is that?
He's a foam finger.
He's a foam finger
He's
holding
giving the finger.
one of those
He
little
is a
pennants.
foam finger.
If somebody was giving a finger,
I think he has a soccer ball.
I'd buy any shirt that's giving the finger. Speaking of Robo, how about the Jason Robertson? Will he stay?
But it should be like this.
It's looking, I don't know. I think it's about 45-55 that Robo's probably going to find a new home, which is still kind of close. One that we know, or we don't know, but let's talk about the captain. We don't know what's going on there with Jamie. But according, I know I've said this many times, Mike Heika says he's here, so he's here. Then there you go, Sam. Why don't you pick that up from there?
No,
or am I
still
supposed
going.
to keep
Still going.
Oh, I'm going to keep going?
Unless you want to.
So,
you can go
by the way,
halvesies
Kim
on
says
each.
you've never had a conductor's hat on. As a matter of fact, she said to me last night, she goes, conductors on trains don't wear hats. So I had to Google. And so anyway, there's the caddy hat that Sam does not have on today on the left over there, and then our favorite DLLS white one. And, of course, we have to go with Nothing Else Matters because nothing else matters as far as getting this Dallas Stars team put together that we can take a run at. So, Matthew Nyes, where are you? Probably not going to be here. There's our Nothing Else Matters, which we're still trying to find out, Ben. Did that shirt get sent to Jeff Merrick? So I asked Bobby, because remember Bobby said he was going to take care of it. Well, Bobby just said, I told Ben about it. So anyway, Ben, if you're listening, Jeff sent me a text message about 3 days ago and wanted to know if I sent him that shirt yet. So there you go, Ben.
I like that he's following up on that.
He wants it. He wants to wear it on the show.
So you said something right at the end of that, Luds, about Robo. Does he want to be here or not? And Sam, you said some of the fans are getting a little frustrated because they are, and that's why I brought up the Instagram story picture of him playing golf in Florida, is because unlike the Mikko Rantanen deal, where Mikko got traded because Colorado was afraid to lose him to free agency, UFA, not RFA. They didn't have control, so they traded him. And because he was a pending UFA, right, Carolina took the deal without the they could have said, like it's the same with Minnesota. Minnesota took the Quinn Hughes deal to make sure, right? Like they were like, well, we'll do it without the contract in place. Wasn't Detroit one of the teams that wanted Hughes, but they weren't willing to do it without the deal in place? Well, teams aren't going to give up a king's ransom on Jason Robertson without an extension, right? He's an RFA, but he could just leave, and then they're so Robo really has total control, which is interesting because usually RFAs don't. Now, there is a scenario where the Stars could simply extend him a qualifying offer. He probably wouldn't sign it, but then they could go to arbitration, and we all know how well that goes. But that would be two representatives or lawyers or whatever get in the room and tell everybody why they shouldn't deserve the money they deserve or something. I'm sure it would go over really well.
Yeah, it's bumpy.
And they could do that. But I don't think anybody feels that that's going to happen. Do you?
No.
But he again, the point was he has control to say, like, they can't just do what Colorado did, which was trade Rantanen because we were afraid we're going to lose him for nothing. The Stars aren't going to lose Jason Robertson for nothing. If he gets offer sheeted, you get 4 unprotected first-round picks. All right, fine. We'll deal with that.
And it's got to be 15, 16 million if they're doing the offer sheet.
Right,
so.
and they probably wouldn't match that number.
Right about now, I would think you'd be hoping that would happen.
Yeah.
To me, I would, if I'm sitting there, I might be going, we'll take 4 for, look at how, pull that board up again, what we have for draft picks coming up. You want to give me 4 first-rounders?
And they could flip 2, 3, 4 of them.
Yeah.
Like they could easily.
If they want to, Yep.
I don't think, Luds, that the Stars would take, let's say that happened and they get 4 first-round picks in an offer sheet scenario. I don't think they just use them for draft picks, all of them, because
because you're
doesn't
in
help
a
them
win
now.
Yeah.
Those picks that we keep talking about, you don't know when they're going to be a big part of the team. And if you have this team that's assembled that you believe can win now, then you flip them and get what you need. And you're a Carolina, you're a Florida, you're a Tampa Bay. That's what you are.
So again, unlike Rantanen, Robo really can say no.
And he
it's
has.
weird. It's almost like he has a no move.
And he
clause.
has.
Yeah.
And he has.
It is.
And that's okay.
Yep.
The reason why I brought it up again is because Sam said this right before the break. Some Stars fans getting a little frustrated with the situation. And I think it's because they want a resolution because they're not used to having Stars players in the media in this sort of cycle and it's all about them. And you're like, oh, something's going to happen. You get excited. Is there a trade? Is there not? This and that. And yeah, it can be stressful. But it's also part of doing business, right? And,
it is.
And I don't think that's I don't hold it against Robo like I've heard some people.
No, I think
they're like, oh, I'm kind of done with him. I think he's a hassle. He's hard to deal with. Or this. What are you doing? No, it's part of this.
I think that the two things that reason their fans are getting frustrated is because, as you mentioned, it's going on for a long time. But also, the last time that Jim Noe was put in a spot where it seemed to be bumpy like this was Jason Robertson when he signed his 4-year contract. So I think the recent history you're looking at, why is it work so cleanly? We don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but in public, the Jason Robertson holding out, all that kind of stuff back then, that was the last time. So,
but you know what's funny? He held out during training camp.
Yes.
He missed preseason
Oh,
games. You know what he didn't
and then
hold
he had
out?
his best year, didn't he? Wasn't that year? 109?
9 points, right?
Ooh.
He didn't hold out the regular season.
No.
He didn't miss any games.
Yep.
And he played, and I remember Pete DeBoer joking at the time going, well, he basically made us look like preseason's completely a waste of time.
Yeah.
And he was good. So, like, it's one thing. And look, Emmitt Smith sat out real football games for the Cowboys in a contract dispute. And nobody, I think, in revisionist history looks back. They were probably mad at him at the time. They lost those games. And then you got to get Emmitt signed. That was a long time ago. I just don't think fans are allowed to turn on him if he forces us to go to arbitration. They're allowed to turn on him?
Fans are allowed to turn on anybody they want.
You can do whatever you want.
You can turn on
I think
anyone you want.
the other thing that
I'm
I
saying
know,
I don't necessarily agree with
the other
it, but they're
thing,
allowed to. Sure.
But that's their prerogative too.
But the other thing is that Rantanen signed for $12 million, right? $12 million, $96 million overall. Fans are saying that why not just take that? Your Mikko Rantanen is a top 10 player in the NHL.
Yep.
And I think the issue with it is that fans, media, players, coaches, GMs, no one seems to be on the same page with what the salary cap going up means. Players seem to think cap's going up. That means that 12 million is now 14.
Well,
just saying numbers.
Of the cap.
Percentage of the cap. Which is legally right, technically right. But they're not on the same page about it.
That's what happened to Rantanen when he was comparing it to when he was in Colorado.
Yeah.
He was saying, I don't want more than Nate. I just want the percentage of the cap.
Yes.
And it's not Robo's fault that the cap is going up. So if Mikko got, I don't know what he got, 13% of the cap here, and that's what he got. Well, now the cap is up here. I'm not saying I'm twice as good as him, but I just think I'm equal to him. I want 13% of the cap.
Yes.
It's not my fault that there's another $9 million in the cap.
Yeah, exactly.
Correct. Yep.
That's the way it works.
Miro Heiskanen is making less than Thomas Harley.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody out there is saying that he's worth less than Thomas Harley.
I mean, Connor McDavid's making what, 12 and a half?
Well, that was different. He took a significant discount.
But just like
most players of McDavid's level have not taken discounts like that.
Yeah. Except for Crosby.
But he's
Jason,
also
if you want to sign for 8.7, we got you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're right in. Yeah. It's a modest $1 million raise or $999.
Solid.
Yeah. So we're going to get into some of the trades that have happened around the league. But before we get to the next ag break and do that, Luds, fans sometimes get frustrated. But do you feel, you said earlier, you feel better because Robo turned down. If he had just gone to Seattle for $15 million, would you have been more angry about that?
No, I'm not angry. No, it's not about anger. It's about just showing that he wants to find a place to win. That's it. I mean, again, I'm not angrier that they made him an offer. He looked at it and they were like, okay, like I said, perfect. 15 million, and the next team wanted to give me somewhere near that and 2 first-round picks. You know what I mean? Now I've set my bar.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking the agent, if that's what like hiring a new agent and all that kind of stuff did, he's doing a great job of it because now everybody knows why he did it. And Jim knows where he is now too. And so it's just hard on Jim when they, you think that you can do this and you can move him here and there, and then he says no.
Yeah.
But that's what you sign up for.
Yeah, the other side of it too, I think I saw might have been from Pierre LeBrun. I can't remember who it was talking about the side of, and this wasn't like reporting, this was a fact, it was just sides that people don't think of, is what if, Robertson might not be against going to Seattle, but in a quick turnaround, like the trade, clearly that trade clearly picked up quickly last night. There was a lot going on. Obviously, it went from Seattle, and then all of a sudden it was St. Louis an hour later. What if Robertson just wasn't ready to make that decision that quickly? Like you're
You think
saying
he
to Jason
wasn't ready
Robertson,
to make a move.
make an 8-year. It's an 8-year deal, right? So it's not like you're just saying,
What if he
hey,
wants
would
to
you
stay
go
with the
there?
Stars?
That's what I mean.
What if this
he wants
whole
to
thing
stay
is-
there. He's not sure if he wants to go somewhere for 8 years.
What if it's like Rantanen? Rantanen said after the fact he never wanted to leave Colorado. They were playing hardball, and
Yep.
Colorado blinked.
Yep.
Maybe that's the agent's fault for not conveying the message to the team, or maybe both sides messed up.
When you talk about switching agents, he's put his trust in this guy and said,
Yeah.
"Do what you do."
Yeah.
I don't think Robo doesn't. I think Robo should be driving the bus on this thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's his
it's
job.
his life.
It's right.
It's his bank account. So I just think the dude's doing what he's asking, and he's giving him information. He's going, okay. Well, like I said, I think his bar is set. So now it's up. And Robo, I mean, you're talking $120 million. Maybe it is a bubble team that you decide to go to. You know, one that's on the border. You know what? In 2-3
San Jose.
years,
Back
they're
to
gonna
San
do
Jose.
that. That's
San
I
Jose
keep
fits
going
really
back
well.
to
Anaheim.
and how do you not want to play with Celebrini?
Yeah.
If you're not coming back here, man, go play with that guy, because your value isn't going to go up, because you're already going to be locked into your value for the next 7-8 years, whatever they do.
And it sounds like from the, again, reporting that I've read, that Steve Yzerman is not interested in paying 14 or 15 million on a winger.
No.
So that would be if Dylan Larkin is in part of this conversation.
Dylan
still.
Larkin, I told you. Where
I
he's
know,
going.
I know, but if
he's
it is
going right up the road, well, he's going a little
Minnesota,
north.
he's going a little northwest. But yeah, it would have to be one of those picks from. It would have to be like a 3-team.
Yeah,
deal.
I feel like if something does happen, Buffalo, San Jose, Anaheim, LA could maybe find a way
teams
to do
are
it
on the verge
that are somewhat close, but also have some cap space. And then Luds was talking about, if he really wants to go play with someone like Bedard or whatever, he goes to Chicago. That's the outlier. But there's really not a lot of teams that are somewhat close in the next 3 to 4 years and that have the cap space. That's pretty much it right there.
I can see Panarin on the right wing and Robo on the left wing in LA.
with Byfield in the middle. It's a hell of a
it's a good
line.
team.
You might get Kempe in the middle.
He would
Kempe
love
in
to
the
go
middle?
to. If LA found a way to do it, like if Robo's taking a discount anywhere,
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
LA.
I don't
That's
know
where he
if
But
wants
again,
to go.
you're losing.
Not a discount, but maybe he takes 14 there versus 15. You know what
I mean,
Yeah.
California taxes are one of the highest
That's
ones.
true.
in the-
But
so
he
yeah,
wants
so-
he wants to go home. I know that.
I
Does he?
would just think I don't
Why
know
wouldn't
why.
you?
I have this hunch that
I
he's
wouldn't.
trying to drive a hard bargain, but
To
he
Cali?
doesn't want to leave the Stars. I think he likes it here.
Yeah.
I just think he wants to not take, in his mind, less than what he's worth. So, all right, up next, trades all over the place. We'll talk them through a few NHL moves and stuff happening during our show on DLLS.
I believe earlier in this show, Owen said, "Why would you not be a diehard?" Well,
Right
now
at the
you
top.
can be a diehard. AllDLS.com/diehard, or that QR code right underneath Luds' right knee.
That'd be right here.
Luder's right knee.
Right there.
You get access to all kinds of cool things. You get a free shirt when you sign up. So if you want the Jamie Benn shirt, the Robo shirt, the Finnish Mafia shirt, the Cup collection is part of it. Yeah, Cup collection is not part of it. See, that's why I asked. Cup collection, you get 20% off, though. If you want the Cup collection shirt or the shirt that I'm wearing right now, nothing else matters. You get 20% off those. And there's all kinds of other stuff. You get 20% off everything on the site, from hats to shirts to sweatshirts to flags to, I think there's a cup that we have, like a
Stanley
travel
Cup?
cup. No, we don't have a Stanley Cup, not since
Some of us
1999.
You mean like a tumbler?
Yes.
Yeah, he has a cup. He sure
But
does. And it has traveled, and it has been.
you get plenty more than
dented and all that.
just merch. You also get 20% off all the events that we have, and you get access to things like our Discord channel where you can chat with other diehards, be a part of our conversation on the show where we ask questions to guests, be a part of my articles or things that we do around here at DLS on the Stars and other beats. You also get access to the writing from every other beat here. So you want to follow all your favorite Dallas sports, you can do all of that. And the community, as we talk about all the time, one of our biggest things in launching this was to build a community of fans. Then that's what becoming a diehard is. You become friends with fans. You meet up at games. You sit with fans at games. You hang out with me and Owen during intermission, and then goes through the Discord where we have brackets. We have hangouts. We have, what did we have last year? The watch along, the takeover where we actually went to the AAC to go to a game. There's just all kinds of cool stuff that you get when you become a diehard that it enhances your coverage of the Dallas Stars and DLS. So go to alldls.com/diehard right now.
All right, Sam, thank you very much. Let's rattle off some of
You're
these
welcome.
trades that happened since our show. We had yesterday off because we're on our show tomorrow.
yeah.
Trade alert. Oh, yeah. Graphic City.
Love that.
Let's start
Little bubble hockey.
We'll try to do this relatively in chronological order. Jack Drury, this happened afterwards. Predators acquired Jack Drury from the Colorado Avalanche. That was a big part of the Mikko Rantanen trade with Carolina, was getting Drury along with, of course, Marty Necas. And so they got Drury, Chase Bradley, and a 2029 third-round pick, which seems like it's 100 years from now, but it's not. And then Colorado receives Fyodor Svechkov and Zachary Leroux, who was a bit of a controversial young player.
I remember that one.
As is, playing for the Preds. Luds, you like Drury a lot? You think this is a good move?
You got a former general manager that knows exactly what he brings.
Chris McFarland bringing his own guys
along.
along.
That
and he brought in another one too. So he's got two of those guys.
Ross Colton
they know what he's getting. I mean, it's depth for that team. You can see he's going to come in and say, "Listen, this is how you do this," and I believe in what we did in Colorado, and so I'm bringing a couple of those guys in.
The next one was we got the Alex Tuch detail. So we knew that Alex Tuch was moving during the show on Wednesday, but the Sabres send Alex Tuch to the Capitals, who signed a 8-year, $10.5 million as a sign and trade, and they get David Kampf and a third-round pick, was from the Sharks in 2027. Do you guys like depth forward and a third for the rights for a sign and trade here? Is this the best that the Sabres could probably get for a guy they were about to lose for nothing?
Yeah, that's the key, right? It's not that the player...
Because he was in the UFA.
He's a great player. He's 30-plus goal scorer, right? He's big, power forward. So it's just about the fact that he was going to be a UFA and they were going to lose him. So they got something out of it. Good veteran player and a pick. I think that's a good move for them.
Yeah, I look at it. I look and say, you bring in Kyrou and you bring him in, and now, does that mean Ovechkin has made some kind of decision because you got all these guys on the right side now? The other thing is they've got 5 or 6 or 7 forwards that are 6'3" and above.
You're talking about
6'3", 6'4". I'm talking about the Caps.
Yep.
So, and they've got the Protus
is giant.
in there.
His young
one is
brother.
6'7", 1 6'8". Like you talk about Tucka's 6'4". Not OEL. What PBL or PBJ? What the hell's his name? PDL. Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Oh,
PBJ. Yes. Should call him PBJ.
Pierre-Luc Dubois.
He's kind of hurt as much as that peanut butter
PLB.
jar. But he's 6'4". You got all these guys. They've got a big team.
Yeah.
They've got Wilson. I mean, they're gonna. I would think you have a head coach there that just signed a new contract,
new extension,
got the award. That is very happy of what management has done.
Then on Thursday, the Florida Panthers acquired Garnet Hathaway and a 6th-round pick in 2026 from the Flyers. Couple of picks and some retained salary. So Garnet Hathaway gives a really relatively inexpensive, about $1.2 million AAV because half of that was retained. It was 2.4 originally. And he's tough. And you got to, the Florida Panthers are full of tough.
I can't believe they did
more.
That's
what I say. I'm waiting for Tampa.
I can't believe they did more, though, in terms of making themselves more intimidating tough and harder to play against, because that's a player that
they have no
right
picks left. They're done. No. They're done until 30-30.
Yep.
But they're saying, you know what?
They may have no goalies, but we have plenty of people.
They might not need
we have
one.
Plenty of assholes up in front and the forward group.
The Penguins acquired the Capitals forward Hendrix Lapierre for a 3rd and a 5th on Thursday. So that was a move. Again, once you start, when the Capitals start getting forwards, they had to start moving some maybe the other way. So they do that. And then the big one yesterday, the Blue Jackets picked up Val Nichushkin from the Avalanche for a 2026 second, the 43rd overall pick, along with a 3rd round and a 5th round in upcoming years. Val on the move. Your thoughts on this one when it came through on Thursday?
I immediately went squeaky wheel gets the grease. They're trying to tell Zach Werenski. Yeah, they're trying to say, listen, he wants to read, whatever. All these guys in the Olympic team want to go somewhere else and get more money. But I think Werenski's saying, listen, we gotta go back and talk about this and see what's happened at the end of this year and my contract and things like that. And no different than any other teams are doing. We're showing you what has Billy Guerin been doing? Okay, Kirill, you needed to see that we wanted to win. Look at who you're bringing in. You're bringing these guys in, and you're probably going to get Hughes signed and all this other stuff. Very similar to what Columbus has got to do now. We want him to stay there. We can't lose this defenseman who's the best defenseman in the league right now.
Same with Edmonton. McDavid wants to see what we're doing. Let's sign
Babcock.
Jason Dickinson and Mike Babcock. Done.
Today, the Sabres picked up a defenseman. They had traded Bo Byram to Chicago for the 4th overall pick as part of a deal a few days ago. Now they pick up Olin Zellweger, one of the Anaheim Ducks young defensemen.
I wonder if Renee is his grandmother.
Who?
Zellweger.
No, the actress? Come on. It's not even spelled the right, right?
I don't know. It sounds right.
Who's that?
Dazed and Confused.
Oh,
Right?
No.
Wasn't
Jerry
she
Maguire.
in that movie?
Oh, I love
Jerry
Dazed and
Maguire.
Wasn't
Confused,
she
though.
in that
Jerry
movie?
Maguire.
Huh?
She was in Jerry Maguire.
Who is
Well,
it?
I don't, but she's in more one movie,
She's not
wasn't
in
it?
Dazed and Confused. That's,
Renee Zellweger wasn't in
that's-
Dazed and
No, that's
Confused?
Lori Joey Adams.
Okay, well, somebody Google that for me.
Well,
Sam's
I don't
working
have
on
to. I know it's Joey Lauren Adams.
Oh, you're thinking Bridget Jones' Diary.
That's
I'm thinking
one
of
of
Renee
them.
Zellweger.
You love Bridget Jones' Diary. That's your favorite.
I'm going to tell you.
So they make that move. And then also today, Sam, you're not sure this is going to move the needle a whole lot, but the Ottawa Senators have acquired Andrei Burakovsky from the Blackhawks for a 6th-round pick.
Yeah, it's not that it's
There was
nothing
a
against
time when
Burakovsky.
he was good.
He was a great player for what was it, Washington, that he had
Yeah.
really a lot of success with. But you can look at a return of a 2027 6th-round pick. That's shows you kind of where he's at in his career.
So with all that going, then I wanted to talk about a couple signings. We don't have the signing graphics for this. Or do we? Tony DeAngelo re-upped with the Islanders for 2 more years at $4.5. The Senators gave Jordan Spence, right-handed defenseman, a 4-year deal at $20 million extension, $5 million AAV. And then Luds today, Colorado bringing back Brent Burns for a 1-year extension, $850,000 base. That's the league minimum with bonuses that can extend performance-wise up to a maximum of $3 million. And Brett Kulak, 5-year deal, $4.5 million AAV.
To me, it's a no-brainer for Burns. Considering his age, he's just, and I think he's 50-some games from longest streak
Oh yeah, he's
games
been playing
played.
forever. Yep.
But anyway, I mean, for that number and what he can hit with bonuses and stuff like that, I think he's a good. He's not a number 2 defenseman, but he's in their top 4 and he plays good minutes. And
For $850,
yeah,
it's not bad.
I mean, it's a Jamie Benn kind of thing, right?
So I
Same
was
kind
going
of
to ask you
contract.
this the other day because not Stan Kroenke, Josh Kroenke was on, or they did a press conference a week ago with Joe Sakic, Luds, and they said their biggest priority is to get Makar re-upped starting January 1st is when they can do it, or
So
July 1st.
they're moving dollars out.
What do you
see
think?
that?
What do you think that AAV looks like?
I thought that he's going to be at least 18. I had him somewhere around 100 and
Highest in the league?
What did I do? A total? I thought I had him around 180 million, somewhere 160 million.
160
What's
is a lot of money.
somebody do what would 20 times 8 is 160? So maybe it was 140 something, but I had him in that neighborhood of getting 18 a year. I mean, how are you not?
Yeah.
I mean, he's the best guy, and they've actually said we're going to get him done.
Yeah.
I mean, so why not? I mean, he is the best.
But you think he
defenseman on
will
the planet.
get the highest contract in the league, the biggest AAV
until the next guy.
until the right?
Yeah.
Then he will go past Kirill Kaprizov.
Yeah.
Think. Yeah.
I mean, I think isn't he as valuable to his team as Kaprizov is to his team?
I
actually think Hughes is more valuable to Minnesota.
Speaking of that, Wild owner Craig Leopold said,
he opened up his mouth
"quote
again.
We had to give up a lot to get him." Talking about Quinn Hughes this past year, we are going to re-sign him, and then he said he might want a shorter
wait a second.
deal.
Hold on. I would like to make this announcement.
Okay, Sam.
I looked it up. So it's nothing Stars news, I promise.
Oh,
it's
this
about what
no,
Luz
but this
just
is
talked
more important. It's about
Renee Zellweger is described on her IMDb as girl in blue truck in Dazed and Confused. Not only is she's uncredited, Luds, and she's the girl from this picture I'm looking at that walks past Matthew McConaughey when he says, "That's why I like those high school girls."
All right.
That's why. He knows her from
Let's
it.
find out if
that
it's
line.
actually his grandmother now.
We need to. That's
Yeah,
next.
I think we should.
That's next.
It's not, but it could be. You never know.
How did you know an uncredited actress from a movie? That's
I'm
pretty
a
incredible.
bit of a movie buff.
That's
you guys,
pretty-
you
Yeah,
guys
from
know
then,
that.
That's a great
You haven't
movie,
watched
though.
one in 20 years.
That's a great movie.
I love Dazed and Confused.
Oh, it's a
That's
great
right.
movie.
Hot. She still is, I think.
So
I don't know.
is Quinn Hughes? Leopold said
Yeah, we're
Hughes
going to get
maybe
him
wants a
signed.
3-year deal. We would love a 5-year deal.
That's music to Quinn's ears. But the question is always going to be there.
1
Is-
minute
I mean,
remaining in the DLLS
The question is always going to be
Dallas
there.
Stars
Is does he
podcast.
want to play with his brother at some point or not? Now, by doing what they're doing, and Billy finds a way to bring in Larkin and address that number 1 center spot, he's following everything up. We're going to win here, very similar to some other teams that have said that. So I think he's giving Hughes every every reason to believe he's going to do whatever it takes to win a championship. And if I go to New Jersey in 3 years and play with my brother, what's that going to look like?
Well,
right? I mean,
And the crazy thing is that Jack is a UFA after the 29-30 season. Jack has 4 more years left on his current deal. He's halfway through it. So
didn't they say they would like to have those line up? Wasn't that something that Quinn wanted?
So if that was the case,
4 years?
would Quinn take the 3-year deal after this year, because he has this year left? 3 more years would put him in free agency at the same time.
I think that would probably be what he wants. And they both come to Dallas.
Would be crazy because they'd be Jack would be 29 and Quinn would be what, early 30s?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're on watch. Right? What do you think's going to happen tonight before we sign off the show today? Are you expecting anything from the Robo camp, or is this just going to be draft goes through and crickets?
I think the Stars will do what they can to get this resolved before July 1st because they don't want, as we talked about, they don't want to go into offer sheets. They don't want to go to arbitration. They don't want any of that stuff. So I think that they are pushing that button and trying to get it done, maybe not tonight, but in the next few days for sure.
Luds, what do you think happens tonight?
Well, what's going to happen for sure is I'm stopping on the way home to get some Old El Paso tacos. I'm going to make tacos tonight.
Nice.
Jack in the Box.
I'm going to get a case of beer.
Taco shells.
And I'm going to just sit around with my case of beer, tacos,
waiting
Tim
for
will
an
be
emergency
drinking her 4
pod.
bottles of wine and waiting for your texts to come across and
Boy, you're going to be
rattle
in
off
great
like
spirits.
they always do. And at the end of it, I read them all at the same time and go, there's nothing going on here again. Nothing. So
Pretty much.
Anyway, we'll do that.
I'll
wait for the
you have it
emergency
here, folks.
podcast.
Go watch Dazed and Confused with Girl in Blue Truck.
We don't have a official live broadcast time for tomorrow. I'm thinking maybe around 1,
Yeah, like
1:30, 2
1:30-ish
o'clock,
probably.
in that range. We'll keep an eye on the DLS Stars Twitter account. We will try to update you as much as we can as far as when we actually go, because it'll be towards the end of the draft tomorrow. We'll see if tonight is any faster than last year. We can only hope.
Pray to
and
God.
then tomorrow, if it moves along. But we will have a live show recapping the whole draft and maybe
I'll be in Frisco.
Robo News, as we will do this tomorrow afternoon right here from the studio, except for Sam, who will be on remote. Hopefully he'll get all the scoops. And for Ryan, for Luds, Sam, I'm Owen. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy your weekend.
Perfect. Thanks, y'all. Y'all have a good summer, okay? You guys are great. Thanks, guys.
We all silly like the mayor.